Spotify has uh, an interesting track record, especially lately, of like figuring me out. Like its algorithm has me pinpointed in a very interesting way, uh, which I can elaborate more on later. But like in my recommended songs for me this week, um, apropos of nothing, Senkarin Tango from Control, which sounds amazing, and I cannot wait to find out what where that happens in it, because I didn't poke at the rest of the soundtrack. I didn't poke at anything else. It's like Spotify thinks you might like this. It's like, I do. Interesting timing. I do like this.
Was it the tango song?
The tango song. Don't tell me it's
Yeah,
like
well,
credits.
it's not in the credits.
Okay. Well, that's something then.
It is in the game during gameplay.
Okay. Um, Spotify has also made me finally decide to like maybe I should actually experience Night in the Woods. Um, because it also recommended a song from that, and I I can't resist trying to figure out what scene Astral Train plays in, because it's a cool name and it sounds ridiculous. And no, I have not played Night in the Woods, but
See, when you said Astral Train, I was trying. I know it's a song, but I was thinking of that like anime Dark Souls like Astral Chain, and I was very confused for a moment. I was like,
I did stream a couple sessions of that a couple years ago with a different roommate who turned out to be Garbo and has been replaced with better roommates. Um,
I'd like to imagine you took the previous roommate and threw him into a trash can, imported another one via Amazon. Unfortunately, it is not that easy.
no. Oh, their chicken's just so good. If I see those boxes in our apartment again, I'm throwing you outside. One of those people. Um, don't buy the bigotry chicken. It's not tasty enough to to nothing can be tasty if it comes at the expense of me dying. Anyway, um, we need to get on with the thing. So let's do that. I'll see you right after this. All right. Welcome properly to the jewelry box and to the inverted castle, and at last to Control, which I know pretty much nothing about, and like people in the chat was questioning whether it fit this show, but I have been assured that it does. And I can't wait to get into it and find out how. Also, we have a Dewey.
Yes, hello.
Woo. Okay, haven't even started this game up to see what like performance is like, or controls or what have you. Maybe I shouldn't even look at these.
You probably shouldn't because some of the abilities are spoiled by the controls, but the default controls are pretty good. And if you have a powerful graphics card, you can leave the settings to the default. If you don't have a powerful graphics card, you might want to turn off ray tracing because this game is extremely visually demanding.
I'm
If you turn the graphics all the way up.
I'm a little curious about the controls, assuming I have side buttons. Oh well, we'll figure that out eventually.
They're options. See, there's Q
Oh,
and
yeah, okay, yeah,
Q
that's
or
fair.
mouse 4, E or mouse middle. In fact, the controls defaulting to having extra mouse buttons as one of the options is something I've like never seen any other game do. It's extremely cool.
Okay, so first of all, gonna have to do that. Second, we're gonna have to do this because,
Otherwise, people won't be able to see
well,
it. Yeah.
because yeah, capture cards and so on, it gets processed to darker for the audience, which is not ideal.
Yeah. This game has a lot of darkness in it, so you are going to want to turn up the gamma.
Absolutely not. Okay, ray tracing is already off.
Also, I want to turn up motion blur so it doesn't
Already
nuke your
did.
bitrate. Yep.
That was the absolutely not. Not only does it murder bitrate, but also it looks bad. Fight me.
Yep. I don't need to.
No, stop. I'm just gonna leave it alone for right now. Because if it thinks that my graphics card is medium low, then I guess I'll just go with it. I didn't think this. Oh, good. Subtitles. That's helpful.
Rollover sign transition overlay. I think you might want that. Oh no, you don't want sign translation overlay. Never mind. It's one of the coolest features ever, though.
Oh, that's kind of rad.
Yeah, that's because this game actually requires you to read signs.
I see.
Yeah, no, you can probably leave everything where it is. If it's the game recommends this, then don't turn it up, or you might get frame stutters at inopportune moments.
Okay. Well, let's dive into the swirling vortex of mystery. Oh, god damn it, this was... Okay. Well, cool. I didn't need to go into the settings to find these specific interesting things, because it suggested them to me just now. Which is nice. Now, the word climb is in red. Mirror's Edge.
Warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual. Can't be helped.
What's usual?
You called me. So here I am.
Bring up the game volume a smidge compared to me. There we go.
I know I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to hear from you. It's just that I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing. I found nothing. It's like we live in a room and there's a poster on the wall. We stare at it and we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous person. Like in that movie, what is it called? The prison movie. The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us from the truth. They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much stranger. There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe in that room. But sometimes something crawls out from behind.
That is a weird
poster.
camera angle to have chosen, and it's very unsettling.
And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw. I'm here. Why did you bring me here? Hello? Anyone here?
Uh-huh. Well, that's certainly a fuck of an intro.
I want to interrupt your mojo for about 5 seconds to give you a warning that right here in the first 15 minutes of the game, you can never come back here, and there are a couple of collectibles here, so make sure you look around before you go up the elevator.
Oh, I was planning on looking around at goddamn everything.
Oh, I figured you were going to anyway, but this is the only place in the game where there's something permanently missable, and it's right at the beginning. So, with that warning out of the way, nothing else I have to say.
So this whole pyramid thing is going to keep happening in a lot of ways, isn't it? Why would you have that? Why would you have a picture of yourself or of someone looking at a thing in like the least flattering possible way? Also, where is that? Theoretically, that should be in here somewhere. Instead, you have a picture of this thing that should be here. Oh no. Everything is physics objects. I have become the office cat. Fuck all of this. I can only fuck over the mug. Fine. Well, the mug has been fucked.
I've become the office cat. The mug has been fucked.
Yeah, Plato's allegory of the cave, heathen. But instead of light cast upon the wall, it's somebody's hung up a cool poster. It's even less interactive than the cave.
I thought you were going more for the Oppenheimer quote.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah, you can hold right mouse button to zoom in on anything.
Yes, I'm enjoying that quite a lot.
Everything is gratuitously detailed.
Okay. For the sake of gratuitously detailed, and also I'm noticing some problems already. Stop that quite so much.
Also, you want to turn off the film grain.
Yes. That's what was bothering me. I'll leave it alone. Yeah, we'll just do those for now.
Ah, yes, that already helped.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah, that helped the stream a lot.
Well, I can't help but notice that portions of my clothes do have some metal on them, so I don't think this is going to go particularly quietly, but,
It's a metal detector. That's all it's going to do.
F. Oh. F and G. Okay. Do I actually have anything in here? Okay, no, that's just the icon for this thing.
Yeah, see what's a 0010? That's how many things.
Oh, got it. Certain objects are not allowed inside the Bureau. Recent incidents have necessitated an issued reminder on prohibited materials. Unauthorized weapons, pagers, laptops, smartwatches, smartphones, smart gaming devices, anything smart, number 2 pencils. One of these things is not like the other. Any objects considered iconic representations of an archetypal concept, e.g. rubber ducks or ketchup bottles.
I believe that number 2 pencils falls under that last category, doesn't it?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, any way of recording anything, including pencils, maybe. All material under Bureau investigation is to be brought in through the private entrances. If you see any lobby personnel in breach of these policies, then please notify your supervisor immediately. Uh-huh. Get off the belts. No, I do what I want. Nobody's here. Nobody can stop me. That is a shiny phone. That is an extremely shiny phone.
So someone did bring their phone in and it had to be confiscated, right?
I mean, doesn't look like it got very confiscated. It's still right there. What in the flying fuck are you doing here? Hello? Backer credits?
This is a AAA game by Remedy. There are no backers.
I mean, I kind of figured as much, but like the doofy handwriting in the first aider boxes would be kind of a prime place to put, like, well, we promised them their name would be in the game, so it's going to be here in the corner. We promised you your name would be in the game, so here's a room that's only accessible via glitches. Congratulations, Houlihan. Thanks.
Okay, but that's actually awesome. Like, you're memeing up about the Houlihan room, but like...
Building shifts? Building shifts. Building shifts. Urgent. Oh, I have to hold it. Okay. Expenditures. Oh, this is gonna be. Wait. Staffing, surveillance, something. Data center initiative, construction, something, something. 3 major redactions, 1 minor redaction. Mold removal. Mm-hmm. See page 5. I have 1 page. Great. Oh, it automatically opens my recently grabbed stuff when I push that button.
Yes.
That's quite nice.
This seal. I saw it a long time ago.
You saw it down in the lobby on the floor.
In my dreams.
It's been all over the goddamn place since you walked in the door. Oh, I fucking love mail tubes. I genuinely love mail tubes.
I have really good news for you.
Yeah?
They are fucking everywhere for the rest of the game.
Okay, one moment. Sorry, pardon the camera janking around. There's like a grain of something under my mouse. I can feel it. Okay, there we go, much better. I never like when games tell you how to sprint. What do I need to sprint from in this instance? Hello, darling.
Ways to create panic in gamers. Remind them of the sprint hotkey without elaborating.
Maybe they just think their game has a lot of going back and forth.
Wilson, frame this janitor's ass immediately. Okay. besides the absence of people, everything has been extremely neat and tidy, so this fucking leaf is also giving me some panic. Whoa. Game! Game about secret agents. Okay, neat. Yeah, unattended baggage. Don't, Zachariah Trench. What a good name. What?
Could make
What
for
a,
some good pickup lines.
it's a great name for that face, honestly. Like, I'm Trench. Yes, you look like it.
As in, he looks like he belongs in the trenches, or? I'm not sure I understand.
What? Why is the fire alarm up there?
That's not the fire alarm. That's the door lock unlock. Look at it more. Oh.
That's a fire alarm.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the door lock unlock indicator.
No, no, I'm talking about the fire alarm handle being up there on the wall.
Ah.
Okay. I'm here to solve the toilet roll debate. The most correct way to load a toilet paper roll, clearly, is fucking levitating with no visible support.
Yeah, because it has the plastic thing in there, but there's no thing around either side, right?
Yeah. I know this is not remotely what I'm meant to be doing with this game, but, like, I really like the sink design having the towels right in it. Why am I looking at bathrooms? Because I can.
It may be important later.
Yeah. Later mission. Gotta shit. Find the nearest bathroom. Well, hey, I know where that
All
is.
these years I've been looking for them, and they were hiding in plain sight.
This building doesn't seem particularly hidden?
I have had things to say about almost everything you've said so far, and it is very difficult to stay quiet.
I'm sure it is. Delays caused by house shifts. You keep saying shifts. This building and a variety of other buildings are projections onto this reality, aren't they? They can appear in various places. That's my guess.
Oh, like the antique shop that moves around in like old movies.
Yeah.
Or like the Symphony of the Night castle. This castle is
Food-
a creature of
food
chaos.
left.
It can take on many incarnations.
Food left in the refrigerator in containment break room 3B has been known to vanish. Plan accordingly. How do you plan accordingly? Bring double food for the gnomes?
Use a different fridge.
Turns out it's pretty hard. What? Okay. Wait. Bob in maintenance. Greg in maintenance.
Let's say hi and welcome to some new people in the oldest house.
Yeah, what do you mean the oldest house? House shifts, oldest house, building house. Is there a duck? Is this a window? This is a window, isn't it? Yeah, that's glass.
You may be concerned to discover this room has no doors.
What? There's a door right there.
Yeah, I meant like that you can access.
Oh, that's fine.
Mildly frustrating, but not hugely.
Yeah, the access ways are all internal. So, like, oh, wait a minute. If the access ways are all internal, then the janitor's just polishing up appearances on the outside. The lobby staff and anyone with access to the outside of this can only see, like, the frontward facing... What the hell do you mean, seek shelter?
Oh,
That one doesn't say fire alarm.
It's at the right height.
Yeah, my problem with the, like, reach up and hit the... Hi? Oh, it's just the logo again. It looked like half a jack-o'-lantern for a moment.
The half-a-lantern. The spookiest shit in the West.
But yeah, the janitor and the lobby staff and... Whoops. And everything are just polishing up continually the facade of this place. These offices, these meeting rooms with access ways that don't face the public, or even the semi-public, aren't probably real?
Do you like the vending machine?
That's great.
And this was a AAA studio.
Well, they can't be iconic, right? That's prohibited. They can't be branded with anything. No,
I mean, that's what the shit in the front said. You can't have, like, fucking branded ketchup bottles or number 2 pencils. So, like, the crackers just say crackers on them. The pistachios just say pistachios, you know? Like...
Okay, well, this one has a door. A pretty goddamn big one. Wait a minute. No. It's not shifts projected in space. Well, it might be shifts projected in space. It's also shifts projected in time. You can't have iconic things or number 2 pencils or what have you, or anything smart, because there's a chance that one of the building's projections in time will exist at a point when that's not supposed to exist. That's why the technology in here is relatively old, because there's a reasonable chance that everywhere in time that this place extends, these will have existed. What?
A shark in his, although secure, permission to basic protocol, shoot to kill. Good luck.
How can you possibly shoot to kill this shark?
Attention,
Look at
all
him.
not even specified.
Look at
A
him!
shark in his, no less.
This shark has done nothing wrong. For my Discord company, I just changed the camera to point at Blowhigh.
I actually love the fact that, like, they're so extremely, like, specific about do not bring any smart devices in here.
What a weird way of putting your papers up. I hate it. But yeah, new theory. This place is projected through time.
Shift could also refer to rearranging its internal structure.
Yeah, everything is generic and or old. As you should all know by now, the R4 reports were due by the end of the week. We're still waiting on them from a number of people. If you need an extension, please request form R4-.E from your supervisor. If you think you're exempt from filing an R4, you'll need to get written permission from your department chief saying so. Remember, R4s are mandatory under Section 75.2 of the Employee Manual. That's too many sections. Then again, this is federal, so fine. If your R4 requires interdepartmental claims, then please contact the appropriate department head, Dr. Darling, Ms. Marshall, Mr. Salvador, or Mr. Kirkland as needed. They'll be busy on Thursday in their annual policy review, so please schedule accordingly. Okay.
That just seems like really mundane bureaucratic shit to me.
Hi. Okay, what?
Did you see the comment that janitor has had ass of the year for 3 years straight?
I didn't. Thank you. That's
It's in
great.
chat. You were too busy looking at the shit on the board and the wall when it said. Just want to make sure you didn't miss that.
I really love the notion of like employer recognized ass of the year.
They had to stop Ass of the Month because it was bad.
Hey,
for
wait a
morale.
minute.
Yeah. What's the way to
Hello?
You're singing the thing I was talking about. I didn't think I'd run into a cool song right away, just kind of playing ambiently. Okay, that's a calculator, we're fine. Yeah, more weird fucking pictures. Ah, I'd recognize that janitor anywhere.
Yes.
Hey, excuse me.
Oop.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to
Janitor's ass.
interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, then you're relevant. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, you halauta.
Excuse me?
I've done enough.
He really
night shift
wants an
on the job
assistant.
To know it makes us
If
come
they don't
home.
hire you, kill them.
Ahti the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody with no face at all.
I
Think about it.
thought that
No
was
face.
internal.
That said, I know what you're thinking. If there's an axe murderer around, that's him.
I thought that was
Yes,
just...
Jesse. Yes, Jesse was thinking to herself, and yes, he verbally responded to your thoughts.
I don't like that. Something... I'm really showing how little attention I paid to the various training videos at my actual work. But, like, the powder fire extinguisher stands out to me as not the usual kind. I don't remember what kind of fire powder extinguishers are good for, but, like, I don't think it's something likely to happen in an office.
I believe powder fire extinguishers are best for, aren't they the ones that work on grease fires?
Yeah, grease and oil.
Because the usual foaming stuff doesn't work, and obviously water makes it worse, so you have to use, like,
Wait.
the anoxic powder stuff. Yeah, you're just up on the balcony.
But,
Yes.
what?
Yes, walk back around. I know what you're thinking.
Quick mental mapping.
Just to see it, just make
Ah.
sure you see it.
It's gone. Can't find your office, watch your step. That's why this is here.
So,
Rangers from security department. Okay, so building shifts are indeed at least partially what I was thinking.
you might be able to jump off the railing and go back around.
I'm a little
Like,
curious
jump off
about
the
that. Yee!
Whoa.
Two things happened there I was not expecting. One, I broke it. And two, this is here.
Yep. This wasn't here earlier. Congratulations, that is the most missed collectible in the entire game.
Oh. Welcome to the Federal Bureau of Control, established in 1964 as an effort to strengthen government relations. We are proud to serve the United States and her people as we strive for transparency and excellence in all aspects of our esteemed nation's infrastructure. Yes, transparency. Famously one of the core tenets of the United States. Oh, wait, hang on. How to handle unscheduled visitors entering the lobby? Start with this boring statement. If they do not leave, are you here to see someone? Are you from New York City or just visiting? How did you find this place? If their answers are sufficiently harmless, explain that this is a secure federal office and they'll need to leave. If their answers seem something, escort them to a private room. There, perform the gunner's psychological assessment. If their responses are within the acceptable range of deviance, then blank immediately. Remember, there's no such thing as too suspicious. Okay. How did you find this place? So, it's definitely not meant to... Well, no, hang on. It definitely does extend to the actual street, because the street's right there. But I'm guessing, like, psychic shield or something? You're not meant... It's such a boring building, you're not supposed to ever want to come in. Okay, that's the same room that it was. This is now an elevator. And this is back to the janitor. Okay. All right.
You may notice that when you went around the first time, none of that space is there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was warning you about permanent invisible stuff.
Interesting. I like that a lot. Also, I dislike that a lot. Also, what's with the handprints way up high?
Did you check the room on the left yet? That one.
Not since the loop. This was the bathroom.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think this is any different. Okay, I don't have anything else to tell you.
Yep.
I'm just being
Fire alarm still inaccessible. The handprints way up high and like surrounding this door and upside down bother me quite a lot. Perhaps somebody knows that the door was supposed to be here and wasn't. The upside down one bothers me more.
The cell and the poster. I was 11 years old the first time I saw behind the poster. They told me I imagined it. I've been trying to pull it down ever since.
Yeah, it tends to happen that way.
Did I lose you there for a moment?
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at a title sequence.
My baby brother, Dylan. 17 years since the men of this bureau took him.
I don't have mouse anymore. Now I do. Okay. Crackers. There's Mr. Trench again. And a bizarre tree. People leaving their fucking coffee mugs all over the goddamn place. They're physicless coffee mugs. Protein, fibers. But which... Oh god. Well... This was inevitable. The office cat has struck again. Also, those mugs damaged the floor? Jesus, what is this building made of? Nobody get another ticket. I hear an alarm. Presumably about all of that. Approved terminology. All right. Reminder regarding drafting any public-facing material while penning any notifications of death related to the Willow AWE, please adhere to the following guidelines. Words and phrases to use in the service of their country. Regret, proud or pride, and will be remembered. Phrases to avoid. Alaska, scissors, blood, loss, sorry. Great. What was the AWE? What does that mean? What the... Hi? We tell ourselves it's okay to be old. It is okay to be old. Alright, fuck that whole thing. Those are some hefty panels. And something is jammed in that corner. How do I... Am I able to shut that up? Nope, I guess not. So I have to assume it's just weird graphics pop in, but like...
What's the... What? Which part?
Those notes. I swear the notes changed. Like the number of notes.
I think that's you imagining it, but I do believe there are several aspects of this game's environment that are randomly generated every time you look at them, to pull back the curtain a little bit.
I see.
Like, if you left this area and came back, like, more than just walking around the corner, like, if you, like, went to a different area in the game and you came back, those sticky notes on the board might not be in exactly the same location.
That's incredible. An altered item. What is it that we do here? I realize that's a big question. What is it highlighting? Oh, it's highlighting that. Okay. Yeah, no, okay, it's fine. Just slowly going insane, don't worry about it. Help, 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 help.
Can I push the help button? No.
Do not disturb trench. Barbara, I'm not... Good name for an assistant. I am not to be disturbed. Cancel all my appointments for the day. For the rest of the week, I can't trust them, Barbara. Not a single one. And yet you find you can trust Barbara. I'm gonna guess that was the sound of the director shooting himself, as foretold in
the intro, right?
In the intro. Sorry. I'm gonna guess that was the sound of the director being shot, implied to be by himself by the intro. We could not actually see whose arm was holding the gun.
Office of the Directors, and no, look at the plaque. Look at the plaque. You do.
Office of the Director, Zachariah Trench.
R1.01. It just looks really nice. I don't know.
Yeah, alright.
Why are you interviewing with the director for a janitor's assistant job?
Well, I'm not. He's dead.
Shit.
Oh, I have a map.
You want me to pick it up? The murder weapon? Really?
Wait, what do you mean you want me to pick it up? Is the highlighting of items...
Have you noticed...
She is also seeing the highlighting of items.
If you've noticed... Look, no, notice the polygons.
Oh, the weird, like... The
Yes.
wibbliness. Okay.
This game's hint system is diegetic.
Oh, damn.
Something's outside. Was coming here a mistake?
Probably. Fuck all this booze. Oh god. Well, I have armor now.
Completely ruining the moment. Oh my god.
I have armor now. The board.
And there goes the poster.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner, and you're it.
Oh, the gun chooses its owner? Is that it?
Where am I?
I have health now. That means there are threats now.
Yeah. Yes. You joked about the sprint button earlier, and you're like, "Oh no, now there's a sprint button." Knife and life. It's like, no. In this case, now there's a health bar. Yes, you can actually die. Like, I'll just tell you that right now. Yes, you have a health bar. You can actually be hurt.
Presumably by falling damage. Time to scrabble up the walls.
No, that hurts the floor more than it hurts you.
No, this floor seems to be made out of better floor.
This floor is made out of tier 3 floor instead of tier 1.
Yeah, this was the true representation of floorness.
Existentially apt floor.
You don't get to make your stuff out of random projections of geometry and not have somebody like me try to climb it all.
Well, remember, climb in red was the first thing you saw, so I'm not surprised you're trying it.
Well, and also, like, that is a big fucking pyramid. But bubblegum Polaroid. The weapon has many forms. Like the castle you occupy.
Yes, like the house prison.
Okay. I don't know that you have missed that. Have I met a deity yet? Try to avoid saying things like that. I don't know anything about what's going on. But yes, welcome.
The only person we met was the janitor.
Yes.
Which, you know, in games like this, the janitors usually
I don't like
everything.
That would be one of the threats, I imagine.
Dude, what if they can climb?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Assess your enemies.
You have a hint in the left.
That's a little bit more dramatic than I expected.
What were you expecting, like a punch or something?
I was expecting a punch, yes. I was not expecting a punch to, like...
It's a conceptual melee attack.
Yeah?
Come on, try it.
Alright.
It's like anime.
There's little fiddlies on the ground now. Not that I can pick them up. I'm guessing by color those are health? If I was injured? Maybe those aren't the same color, I can't tell. I don't have the weapon yet. I think that's it. Control the gun house.
Okay, now I have a gun.
You have a little bit more than a gun. Also, that protrusion from that area bothers me a lot, but whatever. The copies. Ah. Damn it. Damn it. Yeah, I know I have low ammo. There better be a way to get it back. Oh, good. Thank God. Thank God. Unfortunately, I have to ruin the mood completely because Twitch says it's going to run an ad. We're going to find out how... We're going to find out how accurate that is today. Hopefully, it's working correctly. I'll see... Bleh. I will... Fucking this screen. Welcome back. We resume... Control. Whoops. We resume a brief shot of my desktop because I fucked up. We resume control. Yeah, no, what I was saying about, like, you can't just show people like me weird geometry and expect me not to climb all the hell over them. Except in this case,
I hope you enjoy finding out what infinite fall damage feels like. I love that. The sound cue right as I said that was so perfect. Guess what? It feels like nothing. You're totally fine.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, like... Of course I'm gonna fuck around with the bounds of my new reality. That's just kind of who I am.
You really are office cat.
Oh my God. Can the director get like a fucking shotgun or something, please?
It's almost as if they don't want to be shot by a gun.
Yeah, that red X, by the way, that's a headshot indicator.
Ah.
When you see that.
Okay, well they're slow moving at least. Hold on a second. Okay, so it can recharge while aiming. This is a very interesting gun.
However, as you may notice, if you set it to 0 ammo, it is stunned for a while.
Yes.
When the ammo bar turns orange, it must go all the way up before you can use it again.
Yes, I see.
Pretty classic stamina mechanic.
Now they have guns.
Thankfully, they have to stand still to use them with any degree of accuracy.
Just like me, I imagine.
Actually, no. Here, why don't you, just without ADS, and try hit firing at the wall. First of all, anime as fuck. Second of all, you won't lose any accuracy from hip firing. You won't lose a little bit, see? You can see from the reticle.
Yeah.
ADS is always perfect, as in, well, perfect to that diamond. And hip firing is a slightly larger diamond.
Okay.
I think, watching you know, the ADS makes the diamond slightly smaller, but it's pretty hard to shoot fast enough to fuck up the gun's accuracy.
Yeah, what the hell's that, my Kai?
Oh, that's from Elden Ring. It takes you out of the dungeon.
Well, time to poke around at some more geometry
You're
walls.
joking, but, like, that's actually a really good guess, because, I mean, that is basically what it does, but it does look exactly the same, so it's kind of funny how two different games came with completely identical design direction for something.
Okay. Now, I know this whole place is made out of, like, projected cubes and so on.
Yep.
The fact that this one is askew pisses me off.
Yeah, they're all irregular.
Even the metaverse isn't perfect.
You wield the gun, we wield you. The board appoints you. Board? We are the director now?
Something's coming. This threat. An attack. Duty as director. Keep the Bureau safe.
Did you hear that? It's the dead man. Right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word. And this gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy to be here.
Oh.
Things have quieted down outside.
You have to make
Safe to
sure.
go?
That is a lot of mess.
I bet it likes you better.
I mean, to be fair, you've seen how powerful this gun is, right?
Wait, why did it become triangles? Oh no. The flag's a ghost.
You have to fold a flag to make that into a triangle.
This corpse.
May I point you to some delicious attention to detail?
Yeah.
Empty the clip into the wall. It doesn't matter how you do it, just empty the clip into the wall, and then look at the gun closely. Look at the gun closely while it reloads. The gun is firing the individual like black metal
Segments
pellets
of
of itself at
Oh.
supersonic speeds.
Interesting.
Yes, because the gun is a conceptual weapon, so it's the whole weapon. The ammo and the gun are the same thing. Do you see what I'm saying?
Interesting. That's why it can... Well, that's part of how it can recharge.
Yeah. Like, I love the attention to detail in this game, because it's fucking everywhere, and it's so cool.
That's a big fucking paperweight. Also, where did it come from? Okay, well, now that I know I can destroy books,
When they said hit the books, I don't think they meant with bullets.
yeah, that certainly makes sense. Concepts having a life would also neatly explain why they don't allow you to have them.
Well, it's not necessarily like things you bring in
Game.
become anomalous.
Hey, wait a minute. If you're not allowed to have pencils, why do you have a pencil sharpener in your office?
Because you can. And by the way,
You're
they only said you can. They said you can't have number 2 pencils. You remember, number 1, number 3, and number 4 are all different types of lead.
I suppose that's true.
No,
like
I'm being completely
pencils.
serious. They only said number 2 pencils. You can
Yeah.
have a number 3 or number 4 pencil.
You know what else is a different type of lead, director?
Come on, buddy.
Yes. You have a number 2 gun.
Alright, well, this is fucking weird. That is a very pressed shirt.
But does this mean you got the job?
Time to pick up my armor again. Oh, I don't like that at all.
Do you have the job or not?
You can't let this happen. 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 You can't let this happen.
Can't let what happen?
You stopped it. You... Oh, thank you. That was... horror. Walk away!
It counted. So if you had just shot them all to hell before that cutscene, they would have just dropped on the floor.
No, my armor! Oh, yeah, part of it broke, actually.
Oh, that sucks.
Damn.
To answer that question, I believe if you open fire on them, the first time one of them damages you, you get that cutscene.
Oh. Interesting.
I think it is possible to skip that cutscene by just
Creating new armor.
no hitting them somehow, but like usually
I'm getting
just
myself stuck in another trolley, yes.
They usually just fucking unload on you immediately with their assault rifle, so you're probably gonna take at least one hit.
Is there a crouch in this?
Yes, there's a crouch button.
Seems like the kind of game that would
There's
have
also crouch. There's also cover mechanics. If you hide next to a wall, you have cover.
Okay. I didn't realize there was a crouch button because it's bound to the wrong thing.
Yeah. I said the default controls were decent, but that was in my opinion. You might want to make some changes. But yeah, there is a crouch button.
You said it's
Also,
control.
you can decide whether or not the crouch button is toggle or hold.
Oh, neat.
For real accuracy, I would say the control button should turn the game on and off.
Just the idea that you're not allowed to bind anything to control because haha.
Yeah, or just an Easter egg where if you press the control button, the logo lights up in the pause menu, and like that's all it does. Like it still lets you use the button. It's just that every time you press control, even if it's not bound to anything, the pause menu goes like dick, dick. Like
Damn.
fucking sticky keys.
Your armor is even better now.
The hotline. Secure line of communication. Guidance. Reach the hotline.
Okay.
No, my armor despawned. Oh, there's bullshit in every direction. Why are you glowing?
It's like super hot.
Ah! Oh god. Who decided to make this office out of glass? Give me that.
Yeah, they didn't use civil engineering to predict.
Why are you there, by the way? What's with the flying men and or invisibly hanging men? Oh god.
Next time.
No, these are much more stable desks. Until
Oh,
one
maybe if you shoot them, they become physical objects.
Nope. I was just lucky that one time, I guess. Alright.
Remember the seek shelter warning light?
Yeah. There was also...
You sought shelter, huh?
There's something down here.
Reminder, if you experience an unanticipated building shift,
Yeah, you can
follow
listen to
these
them in the
simple
pause
steps.
menu as well.
One,
Nice.
search the room for any altered items or objects of power.
Ah, that's what the OOP
Two, carry
was
the
for
altered
the gun.
item or object of power to the nearest safe room. 3. Wait for bureau staff to find you and the object. If there are no altered items or objects of power in the vicinity, then reach your supervisor via the nearest intercom and await further instructions. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, so we know what AWE is now.
Experience
Altered World Event.
unanticipated building shift.
Do not have a clearance level. Wait, when did I get stuff that I didn't... Oh. So much is expected from the director, says the director. Hiss entity. The Bureau has many internal security personnel, but Hiss was quick to take advantage of this fact. Hiss guards use the standard issue bullpup rifles they carried prior to corruption, while the armored guards carry pump action shotguns. They have no observed paranatural abilities, with the exception that certain hiss guards are protected by a shielding of dense hiss resonance capable of stopping bullets. Is this shielding a result of prolonged hiss corruption? Does the hiss mature in organic hosts over time? More data is needed. Did the hiss target individuals with combat training? Does the hiss have that level of cognizance? Does it utilize hosts for tasks they are best suited to? Combat-trained hosts are reserved for combat. These are all questions for later, though it is obvious that the corrupted individuals retain knowledge on the use of their weapons. Don't like that.
So, I was joking about how this game wouldn't feel like a Metroidvania for the first 8 hours. Well, it's already Metroid Prime 2.
Well, you're collecting log entries.
Well, and like the corrupted guards, right?
Yeah, the corrupted, like the Dark Troopers from the first area of Metroid Prime 2, right?
Okay, service weapon. Object of power 1-Keter, I assume.
I'll just break the mold right now and tell you, yes, it's an intentional reference to Keter.
Okay, great. This object's form is variable. When bound, the object allows paratiliterians to something. This object must only be bound by individuals seeking the role of the chosen one. The object will determine whether you are the chosen one. If rejected, the applicant is terminated. This process is dictated by the something. Presume the board. That was the board. Speaking to me, the giant effing triangle. The object was discovered inside the oldest house in the room that is now used as the director's office. The popular hypothesis has many forms throughout history, whole bunch of blank space, various legendary weapons, all weapons that, I guess,
are the fundamental manifestations of their famous wielders: Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, Excalibur, blade of King Arthur, Varunastra, the famous arrow of Varuna, from Hindu mythology.
And the director of an American bureau, gun. It adds up.
The line afterwards helps you there. If objects of power are the convergence of forces based on the collective subconscious, then this may be the original manifestation of that event.
All right. The Spear of Longinus is, also a thing. Sure.
Steps. 1. Search the room for any altered items or objects of power.
Wait a minute.
2. Carry the altered item or object of power to the nearest safe room. 3. Wait for bureau staff to find you and the object.
Look at me, I'm the director now.
I realized by picking this up, I became the director, but like, when did...
Await further instructions. Thank you for your attention.
It was always you. What are you talking about?
I hope you like Darksteel and retroactive continuity.
Darksteel? I'm indestructible?
From MTG and retroactive continuity.
I'm indestructible.
I love the fact that you're using the coffee carts as armor.
It absorbs at least 2 bullets before breaking, so it totally works.
Hey, I mean, 2 flat DR is pretty good.
I have an object of power for you. It's this cart.
It looks good, too. Arguably more important.
I love that it's slowly spinning on me, too.
And descending?
And ascending. It's going places.
Huh.
Just pop the top off a filing cabinet? Is that what I just saw?
Personal mod. Energy boost. Neat.
Alright, so you played Terraria. These are like your accessory slots.
Weapon mods. Oh. Cool. Don't mind if I do.
It's a really nice perk.
For Marshall's eyes only. Marshall, we checked out the suspected altered world event in Duluth. Wasn't anything, just like the house fire before this and the malfunctioning clothes dryer before that. My team is getting pretty sick of duds. We need to find a better way. We need to find better a way to sort the fake AWEs from the real things. Or you need to rotate those field agents off for a bit. Anyway, we're en route to Sherman Ranch, next one on the list. Let's hope it's a little livelier there.
I shouldn't be hoping for that.
Well, I mean, yeah. You shouldn't hope for it, but also you don't want your workday to be boring. Okay, so they cannot be interacted with.
You mean the floating...
The floating people, yeah. Also, this says something on the side?
Which thing?
Everything. God, it's so detailed. I don't... Wait. I know this is an emergency I know this is an emergency shelter, but, like, the open toilet really is kind of upsetting. Woo. I didn't mean to do that.
Did you know that even that thing about the open toilet is actually answered somewhere?
Jesus Christ.
I don't know how much I want to mention it. You know what? Actually, this doesn't fucking matter to the plot. I'll just tell you. In one of the other shelters, all the furniture is arranged as a barrier around the toilet.
Alright, well, I wait here for my supervisor. Oh, wait, I'm the director. I am the supervisor. God damn it.
You answer to the gun.
Apparently.
That's it.
I answer to...
And the pyramid. And the pyramid.
Are you gonna try to smush yourself?
Yes. God damn it.
Oh.
Game thought of that.
The door to their safety shelter is programmed not to crush people. Amazing.
I mean, I don't know. It's a safety shelter, not a human bug.
No one said the door was
shelter.
Oh, that's a strong color palette.
Hissing sound that tried to invade me earlier. The hiss, burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy? All right, it's our enemy. That babble's contagious.
All right, I need to turn that off before I get content ID.
Melody that makes you hum it over.
Yeah, I should warn you. There is licensed music in this game. There is an option in the audio settings to disable licensed music.
They thought of that. They thought of a lot of things in this.
They thought of fucking everything. So now try turning that back on, and I think it just won't do anything. See? Yeah.
That is nothing.
Neat.
That's odd.
Yeah. They don't replace it with royalty-free music. That's the weird thing. I figured that's what they did, but no, they just literally mute all copyrighted music tracks for the entire game.
I don't know why this is what popped into my head, but what I was immediately thinking was like, we can't play copyrighted music here. What should we use instead? Onestop.mid.
I was thinking Bequeath songs.
Oh god. Yeah, Kevin MacLeod in a AAA game because can't use the real ones. Hope you're ready for Sneaky Snitch, that song that shows up in every YouTube tutorial since the beginning of time.
I prefer Marty's Got a Plan.
Oh god. Why do I know exactly what song you're talking about?
I always associate Kevin MacLeod's music with Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah.
But, like, in a good way, because the first time I was exposed to all that music was when I was watching a Kerbal Space Program YouTuber who just made all these insane contraptions that obliterated the physics engine. So, like, to me, like, the songs, like, bring back good memories of just, like, insane glitches. So, like, I don't know what it is for everyone else, but...
We've even proven that urban legends can be artificially created in popular culture using memes, Senator. I mean, our Bureau-made anthology television program. Once the seeds are sown, human imagination exacerbates the details.
I do believe that that blacked out word is supposed to be memes, or internet memes.
Oh my god. Certain paranatural phenomenon contain clear elements of popularized folklore AWEs that occur only on something. A pair of scissors that consume the
Human flesh, I think.
flesh through 2 punctures on the hand.
Remember
sounds
that
like
thing about
blood.
scissors and blood?
In Alaska? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Urban legends are not just stories for children. They are paranatural realities waiting to happen. Huh.
The urban legends are creating it, or they are calling it to the normal world.
There's
Calling
no
it into
meaningful-
existence.
There is no meaningful difference between those statements, Dewey.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad I understood it so completely.
Yep.
Oh, pyramid.
So, yeah, that one's hostile because it turns red.
Yeah, that was level 1 enemy, as you can see.
Is that a chair?
Satellite dish.
Oh.
Or one of those, like, camera light reflector things, I think.
Oh.
What the flying shit is that? Dead soon, hopefully.
Come on.
I don't know, but it's got a boss health bar.
Yeah, sure do.
And he's got a fucking smig.
And he's got help.
Is that a kill? No.
Now it is.
Yeah, this game has very good visual feedback for headshots and kills, so you'll know when things die because they explode into dust like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very obvious.
Must cleanse control points. An enemy. Corrupt. Spreading.
I'm thinking this dude's not alright.
Cleanse the control point. What does that mean? Help
That
me
means
fix
go
it.
here and push F.
Oh, cleanse control point. I thought he was saying cleanse control. That's like pretty strong. It's getting less bugs.
yeah. Puts it back to
Reformats the room.
normal, so to speak. Notably, the pyramid was part of the original structure of the room.
We did it.
Or, yeah, they built the room around it, maybe.
You hear me?
Oh my god, it's the Pope.
Are you with us? With the Bureau? Are you still sane?
I can't tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
You don't know that.
The feeling's mutual. Yeah, I'm Pope. Emily Pope. Dr. Darling's assistant.
My turn. Should I lie? Jesse Faden. I'm just visiting. I should have lied.
Oh, shit. You're the new director.
How does everyone know that? How does information work? You know what? Never mind.
Yeah. It rippled.
Because think
Like
about
Back to the
it.
Future rules.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, think about it. There's probably a poster of your face in that room,
Oh yeah, you're right.
And paperwork.
and they
Director
work here, so they know how this
Faden.
shit works.
Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse.
She's a
I know.
fucking elf.
She's got a bomb?
Somehow, this hostile force, this
Hiss.
that works. Somehow the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without
Notice how
any-
there was paperwork
just like that,
written that
my
called
name
it the
for it is
hiss.
official.
Yep.
The
Yep.
hiss. Like the sound
There's
of
already
poison
paperwork
gas
written about it that
leaking.
had your preferred name for it
We're
on
in
it.
full lockdown. It seems to have spread everywhere and to
Okay, so
everyone,
I'm
not
thinking about the
protected by an
paperwork
HRA. And
like normal
extraordinarily,
paperwork, and I
you-
shouldn't be thinking about it that way.
You are the
Y-
director,
They've
and
got
that makes you
written
special by
documents
definition.
and like print
Trench is
media
no longer the director.
that are effectively using
Obviously.
pointers rather than actual
Sorry, I'm
information.
talking too much.
Yes, no,
The whole
because they're using
situation is
pointers. Everything is pointers to concepts and the way you manifest those concepts in your own brain.
Trench is dead.
The same piece of paper probably says two different things for every individual person in this
Ah.
building.
I found his body. And the gun. Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
The service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy,
Why would this sound crazy in
she
this
keeps
office?
appearing to me, saying things. It's hard to make out, but he told me to cleanse the control point.
Yeah,
Push
the
the
previous
hiss out.
director appears to you just as the previous
The whole
director
room
appeared to
shifted
them.
Yeah.
And in situations of
Regenerational
extreme
thing.
stress, you enter the director state, where all of your previous director selves lend their power to you.
I'm not ready to tell
You're
her
joking,
about
but I
you
think that is actually how that
God
works.
damn it!
I love it. This is fucking
I love it too.
unbelievable.
See, Pope agrees with you.
I can't even. Look, Jesse.
I can't even in a
you have
AAA
million
game in 2019.
questions, and you probably have a million.
Meanwhile, in a AAA game in 2023,
Like
well,
doing
that
with
just
other
happened.
In 2023 games, they're exactly
But
like
there's
this,
something
but
I need
because
to
of
ask
bugs.
you to do first. If you can cleanse a control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's
So,
the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened
so
to me for so long.
what's striking me here, if the cutscene will go back
But I
to a
can't
front
trust her
shot of Pope.
Or rather, the Bureau. She's a part
Don't
of it.
worry, you can just look at her as much as you want when
Yes.
the cutscene's over.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I can try.
That thing strapped to her,
Yeah.
I'm speaking for you, of course.
clearly some kind of like
We can try it together.
powered dingus, like a reality shield.
Okay.
I imagine
You with me?
some
Yeah.
kind of
did
field
it before.
protector.
Push
She
the
referenced
hiss
something
out.
that kept people safe, right?
Yeah, but what strikes me is that
Not the legs?
what?
No, sorry, keep talking.
It's sort of difficult to see from this angle, but whoops. That plate in the
You can
middle.
also tell that it wasn't always there during development because she has animations that clip through it.
Yeah, that plate in the middle has the same sort of like swirly that was on the big dome in the lobby.
Yeah, the lobby has the same shit on it that she's wearing around her chest, whatever the fuck it is.
Which I have to assume is some kind of shield. So like the lobby is relatively insulated. You know, perhaps that's the what I was presuming was like the perception filter to keep people from wandering in. This is the perception filter to keep her from being attacked.
Well, so it's funny you say that because I don't think the one in the lobby is ever explained.
Well, but
these
it's
ones
got
are.
the same iconography on it, right? So
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. No, I'm just saying. I don't think the one in the lobby is ever explained, but these ones are. So
what cleanse the hiss corrupted agent? Where?
He's floating in the air, right?
remember,
That
all
one.
notice all main quest things or your current objective will always have the little polygons around it.
Ah. So is my sound system freaking out, or is it meant to be like wibbly?
It is meant to sound like that.
Okay.
I don't think you made it.
It didn't work. The hiss has burrowed too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
So we have to destroy the hiss at its source. Somebody insulate these
Jesse,
audio
over
cables.
here. We need. I can't cleanse them. I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse.
She's about
wanna
to lord
tell
him
her
all
I'm
over your
here?
face, so I would explain, but
I'll risk it.
Listen. The Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary.
I assume
17
not
years ago.
ordinary.
The Bureau
What a
came
name.
in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time.
That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you.
Now that I am the director, I would
My
like you to do
boss,
that.
Casper Darling would know, but
Yeah. Top
He's
clearance.
missing. I think we knew this was coming, or
I love that, Heathen. Ordinary pet store.
The Hedron resonance amplifiers. I think they're what saved us. A few
So
of us.
there's your answer about the thing on her
And
chest.
Director Trench would know.
Hedron.
Trench.
Hedron resonance amplifier.
The
She pointed to the thing on her chest.
Ghost or
Fuck is a
whatever it is.
Hedron?
He mentioned something called the hotline. Said I should find it. It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone, a direct line of communication between the director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Can't help but notice that
Where
we
is the
have, like,
hotline?
a chronology of
It's from the
directors up there.
communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it
And
even
now we
with the
don't?
lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Hmm.
Okay, that's my next stop. That's Tomasi's department. He's the head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
They call me the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader. Why am I here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told
I don't
me
like
all
that
those
room.
years, I know it's
I don't
real
like
now.
That's
that
where
room.
they kept Magneto in jail.
I didn't
Kinda,
imagine
yeah.
this. I want to be a part of this world. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
Bad cable installation comes for everyone eventually.
I love the fucking, like, sound design of this game. I cannot explain how much I love the sound design of this game.
I can't help but notice that the carpet in this room is a maze.
Is that what a Bakelite telephone is?
The
Notice
red
how that
phone.
telephone isn't hooked up to anything?
Don't hesitate to
It
ask
didn't
me
have a
anything
dial
you want.
either.
There are no
Yeah, no,
stupid
it
questions.
calls
Door to the
one
comms
place.
department is just outside the boardroom back
Yeah,
in the lobby.
as she said,
They should've
there are
gotten
no
it
stupid
open by now.
questions. She has a lot more dialogue.
Follow
Yes,
the
there's
signs to
a
the mailroom. You
yes,
can get
there's
to the
a
hotline
few
containment chamber
directors
through
or
there.
other important personnel.
Yeah.
Yes, one of them has a red flag on it. It isn't filled in yet. Yes, I believe you're on this list there at the top. I think that's you in the top left.
No, that's
Just
that's
like
the
Wall-E.
previous.
Oh,
I think
then the red flag is you. They haven't put you
yeah,
on
they
yet,
they
I guess.
haven't added me to this list of them, the ones that don't change.
Yes, exactly. Because this list is maintained manually, presumably.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes.
Yeah, a lot of dudes, but at least
A
it's
lot of white men in suits, the usual.
Well, yes, but not all of them. Like we have a decent a decently diverse
I was not trying to comment on them all being white men in suits. Just there are a lot of white men in
Yeah,
suits.
not a gender diverse list of chosen ones, but at least a racially diverse list of chosen ones, and that's a pleasant change.
That we know of.
That's true.
That's not a good point, Dewey.
Yeah, we have this list of chosen ones insofar as the chosen ones have represented this agency.
All right, so let me break the whole like weird conceptual meta bullshit and just let me tell you some complete meta information. Those control points are save points.
Oh.
You can talk. You can talk to. These are your save rooms. You can talk to Emily a lot. She has a lot of dialogue. You can fast travel between all the control points like bonfires and Dark Souls.
Oh. Outfits. This one.
It's
There's
a
your
good
map.
one.
Okay,
All right,
so
the
I've...
game is now actually a Metroidvania. Enjoy.
Well, it didn't feel like 8 hours. Jesus. So do I have to do anything to save, or is it it's just saved?
Game auto saves.
Oh, okay, great.
Save point more like respawn point, like a bonfire in Dark Souls again.
Tape.
You're gonna collect conceptual knickknacks so that you can bunny hop higher.
Okay, so where the damn ass hell am I actually going? Up there.
So they deliver you the floor plan, just not the names.
Okay,
Are these
so
lit up based on elevation?
That's the boardroom, so I should be looking at the level that's on this keel with the boardroom in order to get up the fuck that way. Yeah. Or I should just look for the big wibbly thing that tells me go this way. Well, whatever. I figured out how to read the map.
There it is again. Our welcome message.
What? What?
You do not have a clearance level. Interesting.
Okay, I read that already. How do I make it be read? Control points are locations that the Bureau has identified as being vital junctions of the oldest house. When the appropriate harmonization devices are arranged around the control point in the arrangement, the surrounding area will not experience any unforeseen building shifts. These control points are discovered by blank detection of an unobstructed ping using the blank within a 37-foot radius. Weirdly specific number. Numerous researchers have attempted to define control points, calling them nerve junctures, or nexuses, or vulnerable points of the oldest house. The common factor in these theories is that the control points are susceptible to external influence, which allows us to stabilize the oldest house and work more confidently inside it. Theoretically, this technology could be extrapolated to stabilize the oldest house as a whole, but testing has found that certain parts of the building refuse. Wait, no. Open my bullshit. I have new personal mod. But I can't put more of them on at a time. Well,
Most likely you unlock more slots.
I don't actually know what energy does for me yet, so we're gonna boost the health recovery because I know what that does and it seems important. So yeah, the hiss. I was joking about it being like data noise, but noise in the sense of entropy is probably most accurate, actually. Shut up.
Oh, until you did that, I thought it was coming from the person.
Nope. I mean, it does kind of seem to be literally actually data noise. They're existing through channels that are capable of picking them up accidentally.
Front row.
Yeah, right, fine. You saw me, but I saw you. Ooh, another thing. More unidentified rating for later. Correspondence for later, once the threats have been neutralized.
Lots of reading in this.
Oh, good lord, yes. More unidentified reading. Me again.
Much better. It reminds me of smashing all of the the Wheatley screens in Portal 2.
Or the cameras in Portal 1, yeah.
Yeah. Or the cameras in Control. Ooh, nice.
Hi. Yeah, don't forget I have that.
Like punching. It's a renewable resource. But I guess so is gun.
Yeah, I mean, the gun is a renewable resource, but it takes a while to come back, so punching while I don't have access to gun is a pretty good idea. Okay, the grease fire extinguishers make sense. We're here in food place.
Were those ketchup bottles?
Yeah, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, but they're not branded ketchup bottles, so we're fine.
Yep, just ketchup and mustard. No branded ketchup bottles. And let's see here. No Heinz, because that's really the dangerous one.
Yeah.
Of course. All that high fructose corn syrup.
What in the shit is this trolley?
Well, it looks like a seismograph.
Yeah,
But it's a propane-powered seismograph. So you know what that means?
It's a red barrel. Hell
Correct.
yes.
Yes. This room is the introduction to those, because there's like 10 of them in this room.
Yeah, that would have been real useful to see during combat. Unfortunately,
Yes.
my identification of red is sometimes lacking.
You could even argue that those things being so highly
What's this?
explosive is a conceptual manifestation of red barrels in video games in your video game.
Ooh, that's also quite a good idea.
What is?
I just got a damage boost mod by janking my way up to that ledge a little.
Yes. Damage boost, by the way, sounds really simple. That is the single best mod in the game for any weapon. Because when you get it at higher tiers, the damage boost is so ridiculously high. Also, you might notice, this room is filled with blood, and have you seen the mutilated corpses yet?
I mean, I've seen them, but I haven't, like, looked at them, no.
Okay. Well, nothing actually that important to see there.
Oh. Your jaw's been ripped apart. Is that true for all of you?
No, not all of them. Just some of them.
Notably, this person's wearing one of those things, so not all that helpful in extreme cases.
Well, I mean, protect them from the effects, but not from the affected.
Whoa!
It's overpowering here. You don't
I
want
need
me
the
anywhere
entropy varia suit to go in there.
You might need one of those thingies to get into that room.
Yeah, is this a Metroidvania gate? Is that what I'm looking at here?
Well, there's one here. But I need to find a specific one, don't I? Maybe. Possibly.
Being able to loop would be a thing that made sense for that.
What?
That dude did not need it.
This? It's a bathroom. Ooh. That's a really inconvenient place to put that.
I'm guessing it wasn't part of the design.
Meanwhile, in the other bathroom, nothing except this. Actually, hold on. Unstable
Guys,
area
collectibles,
notice.
women get
Well, that would
their
explain all the weirdly placed stuff, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You're looking for unstable area notice, not weak 83 report. However, weak 83 report was also something I hadn't read yet.
Visited the Nevada accommodations, Desert Sun Inn, Big Sky Motel, Starlight Motel, In and Out, Aztec Court, Sleepy Bear Motel, Silver Spurs Ranch, El Gato Blanco, and A Plus Lodge. Drinking those little whiskeys is my ritual. Great. I do wonder if a motel called the Ocean View is going to be found in a landlocked state, but hey, I guess I'm not paid to think. And for the record, I again request that you give us the budget to get 2 rooms each night. Agent Rowley and myself are very tired of sleeping in the same room. Weird.
And you want to read the unstable area notice.
Yes. Due to recent fluctuations in the nearest control point, the area's stability has been downgraded to yellow. Okay.
Yeah, the control points and the building shifts are related.
The Hiss resonance field is a physical impediment that is difficult to define. Hiss barriers appear as ways to impede escape or access by Bureau personnel. 2 methods have been discovered for lowering them. Destroy multiple concentrated resonance sources found in the vicinity. Destroy the Hiss entities in the area. The resonance fields seem to require support for their size and density from other non-connected sources of Hiss resonance. Without the ability to draw from these resources, the barrier will fall. Does an inactive structure made of Hiss resonance qualify as a conscious being? Does the distinction make any difference when considering the Hiss? What does the very act of building walls to prevent our movement tell us about the Hiss? To what degree is it watching and planning?
They're gray doors. Solve the puzzle or kill all the enemies.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Okay.
Have you shot the floating bitches yet?
No? I assumed they were innocent.
You get a hit marker when you shoot them.
Yeah, it's possible that that's what it meant by, like, things that are supporting the field.
Go open your logbook, or your collection, whatever it's called in this game. G. Yeah, go to the collectibles, research and records, Hiss agent. All. First one.
Huh. Okay. The Hiss manifest in human hosts in numerous ways. The most common and least intense form is seen in the many corrupted agents floating throughout the Bureau. Hiss agents have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most noticeable distinction from an unaffected human is that they levitate. These Hiss have displayed no aggressive behavior. They only seem interested in vocalizing the strange incantation ad infinitum. Perhaps these vessels are only meant to propagate the Hiss corruption like spores or Wi-Fi boosters. Or are they cocoons preparing to enter the next stage of evolution? When attacked, Hiss agents disappear, perhaps entering a state of invisibility or undergoing a transformation into a purely resonant form. Oh, okay. So they are also things to remove, unfortunately.
They're just distinctly non-hostile.
Okay.
That was the floating chick that you tried to cleanse first was one of those.
Hmm. An auditory event occurred at the United States Embassy in Havana, injuring the majority of diplomatic staff stationed there. Some number of deaths were reported, and the outgoing information has been managed. Bureau agents arrived at the embassy on the same day as the event was reported through federal channels, but we were too late to witness the AWE, which is reported to have been something.
Awesome.
Staff
rad.
Staff experienced sudden intense vibrations and noise, accompanied by an intense pressure in the ears. This lasted for some number of minutes. Looks like 3 digits. No visual phenomena was witnessed. The scene was cordoned off, and the embassy staff were transported to the continental U.S. After Formula I-9 was recited in the vicinity, a single cowboy boot began to vibrate, identifying it as the altered item. The item was contained and brought to the Bureau for examination. Formula recited. The Bureau is researching effectively spells.
No, they're just saying stuff like, show yourself and how old are you?
No, I'm good, thanks. Okay, but actually.
They're very,
A fish tank.
Ah, nope, that's another, can't go in there. Huh. Interesting that happened inside the shelter, and a little alarming for the actual efficacy of such a shelter.
Yeah, the bathroom was safer.
Hey, where the hell else is it coming from?
Well, they did mention that the Wi-Fi boosters repeat strange incantation.
Is this a different one, or did the... It's the same one the door closed, didn't it? Yeah, it's the same one the door closed.
The doors auto close and you walk away from it.
I just got a little turned around, it's fine.
I'd love to see a mod that replaces that sound with the Benny Hill music.
What sound?
The yakety sax.
No. What sound replaced?
The you know, the angry sound.
The incantation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you mean like the weird like speaking?
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny to replace with.
Just anything that makes her cover her ears.
Oh, that would be really funny. Yes.
So, nobody's gonna like me for this. But the first thing that comes to my mind as anything that makes you cover your ears is that terrible sex music.
Oh, the Seabat?
Yes.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm glad that I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Because
look
I
it
was
up.
gonna suggest replacing it with, and his name is John Cena, but like actually at full volume, so it makes the player want to leave the area too.
Where's Rachel would be another good one. Shield.
Okay, we heard about that.
That was in the logbook.
Yeah, they mentioned about the solid resonance shield thing. Are there any explosive barrels, maybe?
Not that I can fucking see.
Maybe just shoot the shield. Alright. They're just extra tanky.
And teleporting? No. Oh, the shield's
you-
back! God damn it.
You've probably figured out by now that when you kill enemies, they drop blue shits on the floor that heal you.
Yes.
Yeah, those are called health elements for some reason. It's a really weird name, but
Yeah, the power up is increasing their efficacy, right?
Yeah.
maybe swap out your gun so that it has the plus damage.
Oh, yeah, the gun power up is separate from the person power up.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You have a gun mod slot. You can put the damage boost on it.
Gotta get that Healy juice. Or conceptual Healy juice.
Man, that shield is really annoying to get through. Holy.
Yep, sure is.
You can see why I was mentioning, like, is there any explosive barrels around or anything, like, to burst through that shield? Because, damn, that thing's terrible.
No, wait, those are good fit range. That's right. Oh, god, and it regenerates. Oh boy.
Yeah, kind of a problem.
Oh, can you punch him in the shield?
Maybe don't watch this right now. Hit escape.
I'm fucking trying to. Yeah, it's bad for me.
I don't know, man. It's a lot of shields.
Fun attention to detail. Loading screens after you die are this shit. Loading screens normally are not this shit.
Yeah. I was
You
trying to use sprint.
You lose 10% of your total money when you die. It has no other negative effects.
I have not yet found a place to spend that money, so
Yep.
doesn't
Yeah, I didn't
impact me
realize
yet.
we were capitalists.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah, see what I mean about save points? Now you get it.
So I have lost everything since?
No.
I still have all the...
You still have all the stuff, yes.
Ah, okay.
So when I say see what I mean about save points, again, it's closer to bonfires in Dark Souls.
I see. I'd like to thank you for approving my request for the Dead Letters Archive catalog in the Bureau's collection of cataloging the Bureau's collection of delinquent mail will provide an extremely handy database that research teams can use to search for any connections or related topics found among the letters. Aside from the more functional purposes, the archive will allow us to preserve these windows into authentic human encounters with the paranatural world. These letters came to us from various places and times, gathered by the Postal Service as undeliverable. The Bureau is the perfect home for them. I realize that not all letters contain accounts of genuine paranatural events, but even the erroneous ones allow us insight into how the unknown is perceived by real people. Of course, I will first compile a system to allow us to analyze the letters for any information or suspected connections to AWEs and other altered materials. So thank you again. I can't wait to dive into my dead letters. I had a dream, and I built the thing I saw in my dream, a machine that will contain God, but not the God you know, or the ones anyone knows. A new God. The machine will be his body, his heart, his mind. I made it just like the dream showed me. I used the motor from the refrigerator and the coils from my toaster and the fans plus timing belt from my car's engine and the wheels from my son's skateboard. God can't move yet, but the dream said he would learn how on his own. This is just a beginner's body, like a baby's, but a machine instead. God only needs a place to start. If you want to interview me, please contact me at the address in the envelope. My phone does not work anywhere. I had to use the dialing plate on God!
You're fucking good.
That's good.
How familiar are you with Elder Scrolls lore?
Not very.
Oh. That's fine, don't worry.
Big door.
Yeah, remember the time when they
Body armor.
used all the roller skates in Elden Ring to create the machine god?
Oh, I was talking about the very real thing in Elder Scrolls lore where the dwarves tried to build Machine God and it instantly deleted all of them from existence.
There it
I
is
forgot
again.
they actually did
A
do that.
welcome
Yeah, that's a real thing.
It's like the new Midian or the Numa or something.
Become as skateboards. Become as skateboards. Alright, well, not that button.
Time for Ned.
This button. Oh shit, I completely forgot about the ads. Oh well. No wait, this is... I want gun mods. That one. 22%?
Yeah. Now...
Good lord.
Yeah, that's already pretty good, and it only gets more crazy. That's what I was telling you, man.
Just look at it. 8 inches wide and capable of storing a whopping 80 kilobytes. Stolen by our friends at the CIA, the disk held the launch codes to Soviet nukes. This is not the disk, of course, but one exactly like it. A perfect fusion of concepts vibrating in the Cold War era collective unconscious. A receptacle. It is a receptacle for dangerous energies to hone in on, and they did. We don't have the details, but when things started flying around the disk, it was transferred to us. It's an object of power. OOP. Oops. Oh, and it can launch things telekinetically through the air. To date, we've launched maybe 3 dozen pencils. And once, we even launched a cup.
I don't know what to think about you.
You mean the guy in the video?
Yeah, the guy in the video.
He seems awfully flippant for something so serious.
Whoa!
Yeah, also remember you have that melee attack. So if you're sitting there and you're like, oh man, how do I get to the shield? Maybe try force punching him?
I did want to try that.
Yeah.
Wait, are the combat encounters also already done? Because those guards aren't patrolling.
I believe that enemies won't respawn in a given room.
Huh, but these ones did. These non-hostile things.
Oh, yeah.
Like scenery.
I believe they are like scenery, yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of fucking up the feng shui, but
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, with this like creepy multi-dimensional office building, I think that a couple of floating secretaries is feng shui.
Okay, so hang on. I've been shooting them in from a distance, and that's activated them before I was in a decent space to deal with them. Okay, nope, they've activated anyway. Okay. What's this? More bullshit. Oh no, they haven't activated. This guy activated. Okay.
Oh, good. So you can fight him alone.
Oh, one punch deals with. Okay, never mind. Cool, dealt with.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, I bet that, because didn't they mention in the logbook, like, oh, the shield can stop bullets. Yeah, can it stop me punching him in the face with the power of 1,000 suns? And the answer is no. No,
specifically to get you to get close up in terms of game design.
Okay, if you want to talk about the game design, there are actually several ways to break these shields, none of the others of which you have yet.
Oh, you mentioned barrels.
Yeah. The shields must be broken through the application of excessive force or supernatural powers, and you can get both with that melee strike.
So are there still hostiles that I'm not perceiving? Since the music is still... Yes. There must be further still. There we go.
Nice. Fisting made things a lot easier.
Usually I don't find that particularly easy. Alright, put it all back.
Well, it's a conceptual attack, so if you want it to be easy, it will be.
What was the concept of fisting?
Yeah. You applied the concept of fisting to them, and they were not very happy with it.
Pop their bubble.
Okay.
So there you go. That's your next respawn point. Congratulations.
Neat.
Yeah, see there. It tells you right there. Tons of control points gain access to fast travel.
Still don't have clearance level.
So you're earning each and every bonfire with a combat encounter.
Also, hello.
Yeah, you clear a room, it turns into a bonfire.
Oh?
You're approaching.
Nice.
Damn it.
I think you can do that. Just do a sprint jump.
Seems
I just had to get
doable.
around the pillar.
Yeah.
What's this? Damn it. More shit I can't look at.
Lore.
Oh, it's not even lore. It's material, presumably for crafting, I guess.
Hmm.
Health recovery. Jesus Christ. Wait.
So that's pretty close to 20% effective health, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the total amount of health available in a room is the health you start with and the health that's dropped by enemies. So if that health dropped by enemies is quite large, then that's 20% larger.
Yeah. Yeah, what the hell, why not?
Are you rocking and rolling with the better health and better damage upgrades?
Book Club. Hello, avid readers. The Bureau Book Bunch will convene at the usual spot in the corner table of cafeteria at 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Currently discussing Unless You by J.D. Brooks. Everyone should get their reviews to be my Monday before lunch so I can generate some conversation starters before the meeting. Happy reading, Penny Bartwell.
You remember the posters about book club that would show up on some of the bulletin boards?
Yes.
Yep. Book club is canon. It's a real thing.
The concept of a book club.
Look, if there's any poster I had to shoot, it's the one with a crosshair on it.
That's why that one is the one that gets destroyed when you shoot it, and none of the other ones are.
Really?
Oh, I lied. Sorry. I didn't realize that a potion to destroy line never shoot them. Sorry. I know almost everything, not absolutely everything.
I hate this a lot.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave now.
Shit's hilarious.
I think there are only a few pieces of that creepy ass show that actually have important lore in them.
Why would I?
Don't eat the mold.
Okay, the mold
It's
is
yellow
special.
mold. Interesting. It's like a slime mold.
Wait a minute. If my thinking about the hiss being like adversarial entropy,
Yeah.
then mold's like continuous spreading and ruining of things is sort of in the same vein.
Yeah, mold is like static for food.
The hiss is static for information, the mold is like static for food.
Yeah. It's not what I meant to do. Why do I... My zoom key when I was playing Half-Life 2 the other week was V, and that's the melee button now.
You can always rewind it if you want.
Okay, so
I
that's...
wouldn't rewind zoom to V in this game. I think the default controls are good with the sole exception of crouch, as you already figured out.
Yeah. So besides the fast travel... I guess the fast travel... I guess doing that has purified... Okay. Cease. Who else?
When I watched someone else play this game, they could not stop saying it. You're fired from shooting people because they're really director.
Oh. Alright. I forgot that was there.
At least you learned something helpful today. What you learned is that you have one-shot protection. I don't know if you noticed. You went from 100% health to like 1 health instead of being killed instantly.
I wasn't sure if that was one-shot protection or if I was just lucky.
No, it's OSP. This game has OSP.
Got it.
There is no way to be one-shot in Control.
Oh, good.
As far as I'm aware. Okay, no, actually that's not true. I think there's one thing that kills you instantly, but like it's kind of spoilers, so I can't tell you what it is, and it's very easy to not get killed by it.
Okay. So now that we've done that... Nope, this still hurts.
You have not yet purified that corner, or whatever the hell is going on over there.
Yeah, so that other question mark space over there is probably where we're meant to be going.
See how one of them has a gold diamond over it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's stairs? There's a thing I can't go through. Where are those stairs? What the fuck?
All the letters from the dead letters office.
That's a fuck pile of letters. Also, the polka or tango thing is playing again. Why did I say polka? What's wrong with my brain today?
I mean, polka would be an improvement.
Does that always emanate from the janitors? Does that mean the janitor's here?
Not necessarily.
We're on the right track.
This was about the floppy disk again, wasn't it? No.
Just look at it.
Yes, it was.
8 inches wide and capable of storing a whopping.
You can rewatch any of the videos or anything at any time by going to the collections menu, so don't worry about
Also,
that.
hang on. Are these red barrels as they are in video games sometimes?
Yes. See how it turns red when you point your bullet, you point your gun over it?
It's a lot of cocaine.
It's not cocaine, it's a powder fire extinguisher.
You know, speaking of cocaine,
Yeah.
I really love worrying segues.
This is the great start.
I think I had a customer the other day who had literally just done cocaine, like in his car or something.
Nice.
Like the moment he walked in was conspicuously sniffling and twitching, and it's like, what in the shit, my guy? Of the various things I do not want you to do before you enter my shop or in my shop,
Sniffing a lime
fucking
is one of them.
drugs is
Yeah.
one of them.
Yes.
I feel like that's a very common retail feeling. Just hoping that your customers aren't on cocaine.
Yeah, the dude went and spent like $20 on a gift for his partner, and it's like, you clearly have money for the drugs. How about you put some of that towards your partner? But whatever.
No, that's why he's spending on the drugs, because he has no.
He has no presence of mind.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't want to get too far into this.
Bonk.
Did they shoot out
Whoa.
of the?
Okay, so that's one of those hiss barriers then.
Is it like a bunch of rectangular boys in the corner stopping you from going a certain direction?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
All right.
Tread punching it.
Yeah.
Might as well.
I don't like what I'm hearing beyond this. Push the button. What's that? More undefined bullshit.
I kind of wonder what's behind the simple doors in these. Oh, it's a
Emergency supplies.
What? Why
To be
would they
fair,
just
you
be on a
probably are.
shelf?
I bet you were supposed. Well, because I bet you're not supposed to open the door until you know what you need the emergency supply closet to contain. So when you open it, it'll have what you need.
Object
Oh,
of
maybe.
power.
No, I'm being serious here. Like, think about that.
We need to
Yeah. It's shooting mail canisters, is that right?
Ah, so this is another object of power, and this is... Now we get to understand a little bit more of what makes the altered world events such a problem. When an object of power exists in them, it's just gonna cause fucking chaos.
So we kill the
Accuracy
evil
boost.
mailbox and assume it's power.
You see, what I'm thinking here is, we were talking about the emergency supplies closet. It's like, well, remember that,
Yeah,
like,
right, I don't have clearance level then. Just stop trying
everything in
this.
this game is like what you think it is. Does that make sense? So,
This would be cool if it works.
Oh shit.
hey, maybe try shooting that little barrier to get rid of it, and then try it again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's immune to bullets. Fuck, never mind.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Hey, you wanna? How much do you want to bet that specific barrier is there because some playtester climbed up this ladder?
Definitely.
Because it's not there on the other side.
Gosh, that sure is a lot of bullshit.
It's the concept of hate mail.
There's
It's
so much of
spam!
it.
It's just throwing random letters at you.
Pretty good.
So I have to reach it. It's not a thing I can shoot, probably.
Christ. You know, they are pretty much the size and shape of tank shells. I'm thinking.
You know, if that's a red barrel, I don't want to be standing next to it when I push, when I do the thing. It's not. Otherwise, it would be highlighted. So, what's the actual object then? Whoa, whoa. Should I be shooting things?
Or just suck it
Oh,
up.
it's the floppy disk.
Ah,
The floppy disk that can throw things.
So it's the launch. Yeah, you can telekinesis stuff now. Is that right?
The nuke?
Remember, it had Soviet launch codes on it.
Oh yeah, okay, fine, yeah.
It's harder to hear you when I'm here. It's like the channel's been changed. The board's in charge here. They're pyramids in the Bureau seal. Are they really the ones pulling the strings? I'm not their director. I'm no one's director.
I mean,
You may have
okay.
noticed. You may have noticed that the board said "teach us to believe,"
Yeah.
and this floppy disk is about throwing things because it's about destroying things at arbitrary other locations, like with nuclear missiles.
Yeah.
Floppy disk / nuke. So, what do you think?
Align the cube thingamajig. Oh, those specific ones.
Now you've learned how the energy meter works.
Oh, those are Sierpinski sponge sort of thing.
Not quite.
Yeah, they're like
a-
one
they're
unit
a-
They're
of
a
a...
tier 1 Sierpinski fractal.
Yeah, they're phoning it in for sure. But I feel like that is an inspiration.
God, imagine
Is
the
there something over there?
Imagine the satisfaction if I finished a puzzle by randomly throwing this over that way.
I thought you
Remember
were
how
in
Darling
pyramid.
said? We threw a couple of pencils across the room once.
I thought maybe that's why they banned him.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not supposed to be fucking around with that.
I'm assuming there's no collectibles in these because you only
There are
do
no
them once.
collectibles in these because we never come back to them. Yes.
Yeah.
The only place that rule is violated is at the very beginning of the game, which is why I was so loud about it.
Okay.
Which is
For
kind of
you,
annoying.
there is nothing hidden in any of these things.
Except a room full of 250 rupees.
You know, speaking of Legend of Zelda,
Yeah.
Squidala, we are off! No, I can't stand on the thing I'm picking up, god damn it. Okay.
I see what you're trying to do, and I don't think it's going to work.
Squidala, we are
Go
off!
into a sploosh kaboom
Fuck.
with it. but this is fine.
Squatla, we're lost. The platform and respawning.
Yeah, right.
Bombs, rope, lamp oil.
I have that on Discord soundboard, and I will not use it.
Sorry, Link. Give credit. 。 particularly... Oh, you do have a gun. I was thinking to take your gun away.
Yeah, this is meant to teach me that I can do both, I imagine.
But if you die in a dream, do you die in real life?
Spoilers.
Does the disc just do like the Principal Skinner pathetic meme and declare that you weren't worthy?
Burrowing into the astral plane. You must mute them. It is sound. It is
They live in
entropy.
the astral plane.
Oh my god, I can hit it. I can hit it.
That's great. I heard that.
Welcome home, Danny.
Boinkies.
The antagonist, the
You
hiss,
were gone.
is seeking
Cut
our
off.
astral plane.
I got it.
Abilities such as launch are
Right,
particularly
this will
effective
help you
against
fight the
shields.
I see.
There we go.
And the game directly tells you paranatural attacks, including the melee, are super effective against shields.
They make you fight one first.
Yeah.
Without it.
Well, you have melee, but they don't tell you. Insert metal pipe sound effect.
Clang!
Oh my
Oh, that's been
god,
a lot.
so much damage. Oh hey, remember those exploding things?
It didn't even get destroyed.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at that fucker. You're picking up solid steel pipe. That shit's got like 1.5 diameter.
Alright, maybe a bad plan.
That was a bit impulsive.
Alright, give me your health bits.
But they just ignored it.
No, hit the middle leg.
Ow! I thought I was grabbing the box.
Remember how I said, hey, remember that exploding thing? Yeah.
As soon as it came in from off screen, we knew we were in for a treat.
I thought I was grabbing the box. And then this fire extinguisher slid in from the right, and I knew it was about to happen to me.
Yeah, try it. Yes, it explodes on top.
I'll teach you to appear ominously.
It would have been more on point if they had been extinguished by it.
Go back here to the previous room. I actually want to show you something cool.
Yep.
So go back up to like the second floor where like all the pipes and shit are.
Yeah.
Remember those weird seismograph things, the propane tanks?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we're
Hello.
doing every physics
What was
object.
this about appearing ominously?
Go
Don't
to the other
scare me
side.
like
it's on
that.
the other side.
Here's one.
Yes.
Hello,
Yes.
I'm one of the scary friends.
So pick it up and take it over here.
Just throw it.
That's a pretty big boom.
You're a seismograph and yet you explode? Interesting.
It has an entire propane tank on it. Also, yeah, you did just take fall damage.
Yes, I noticed that. Alright, we are learning.
So there are
Emily said that
repercussions
the
for hitting the
hotline
ground
can be
hard
reached
enough
through
to
the
shatter
mail.
it?
Yes, there are. Also, yes, the bigger and heavier and metalier and solider the thing you're picking up is, the more damage it will do.
If you put it down, do you get a refund?
No,
Yes,
you
if
can't.
press E. No, yeah, you can. Press E, puts it down. Or whatever the other button is. Press F.
Yeah, you sort of put it
Oh,
down.
F
You
puts
get a
it
refund.
down. Okay.
F, you get a 50% refund for putting that back down.
Okay. Oh, but throwing it costs nothing. Nice.
No, once picking it up costs 100%, putting it down gives 50% back.
I enjoy that the ability is levitating stuff that's nearby. Like the mail?
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Your levitation field passively levitates everything nearby the levitated object.
Yeah, if any of our actual mail is levitating, run, Danny. Where the hell is... Oh.
Have you ever considered the fact that that weird shit they're saying is in English because it needs to be comprehended by you, but the true message is some eldritch abomination?
I mean, it's coming through in syllables that I understand, because once again, it is just entropy, or informational entropy. Right?
I just thought it was a really shitty recording.
It's not those.
It was.
Oh, it really was?
Yeah, it stopped after.
No, it is. There's a guy upstairs. There's a guy upstairs.
Oh, there's always more guys upstairs.
Winky face.
Oh, clearance level 1. That was the wrong button.
This must open the door.
I actually swapped interact and throw because I wanted yeet on F and interact on E because most games I play have interact on E, but you didn't have to do that.
This one is just kind of more like a bonfire and less like a big boxy bitch.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sometimes you get them for free with no fine.
I like it.
Yeah, I think I would also want those to be swapped now that I am understanding them. Yeah, use is E. Launch is F. For fuse.
It's also middle mouse button if you don't want to reach over.
Oh.
You're showing feet on this channel?
No.
What? No. God, no. What the fuck?
I heard yeet. Was that wrong?
You're showing feet on this channel.
Ah,
which
feet.
Doesn't sound loud.
AAA game.
Yep.
Okay, well, like, remember, attention to detail means there's going to be a lot of very detailed bugs everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and also that kind of critique is useless. Like, don't do that. Like, oh, there's a visual bug. Well, why did I pay $60 for this? Like, fuck off. Don't be that person.
It's a fucking great game.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be that person.
In older games, that mentality used to make sense, but things are so big now that there's always gonna be something.
Cease.
She has ceased to exist. Congratulations, you just sent Kelly to the Shadow Realm.
Honestly, this telekinesis is underwhelming after carrying a trolley with you without doing shit.
I mean, that might actually be a great way of keeping ammo with me.
Oh. Or it gets caught up in the levitation field of the thing you're levitating.
Try ripping a piece out of the concrete pillar.
Oh, I don't have to have objects.
Pick up random floor.
Yeah, that is correct. You do not.
I already had clearance level 1.
Yeah, there's a couple of guards that you get to in this area. And yeah, you do not need an object. She will rip chunks out of the walls or floor to throw if you have nothing available. Do note that does not do that much damage, even though it is solid concrete.
It's a paranormal late night broadcast thing.
Insert myself into this coffee trolley again.
This is the shittiest version of Metal Gear that I have seen.
Dun 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 dun.
But what's the shitty part about it? The fact that it's not a cardboard box? Because there are cardboard boxes right there.
Your box only has 2 sides on it.
Oh, no, there's a cardboard box right there. Like, come on, just figure out some way to flip it over with the telekinetic power and then...
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, what was I telling you about?
You could build a whole, like, box matryoshka around yourself.
I bet I know what you're thinking. Yes, there's an explosive tank in the back of that.
Who wants it, though?
I like how it looks like the fucking armor is part of the levitation. In fact, I bet the armor is being kept held in place by the levitation.
Sleep pretty quick. Checking under the bed first, of course. Ghosts. No chili spot.
This is great. I do like carrying around the extra ammo bit.
Oh,
Oh, did you actually walk far enough that the prop despawned?
I guess so.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
It's kind of interesting in a game where you can just carry stuff that they would make that choice.
Well, it's because the room has to unload at some point, and that triggers all objects contained in that room to unload.
Yeah, but they should make an exception for the thing you're carrying.
That can lead to memory leaks really fast.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Like, I understand why that limitation exists, and there are very few places in the
What
game where you can actually do
in
it.
the shit is that?
Tumbleweed?
Tumbleweed.
I assume the floor is lava? No, the room is lava. The room is lava and I should not have come in it.
I'm back when you had the various suit.
I could have done with the Mario falling into a pit yell. Like, not the jingle, but no, like the noise he makes when he fails an obstacle course.
The floor is lava,
The
and so
wailing.
is the air. Thanks, Matt.
You mean the like the sound of him getting his ass roasted on Lethal Lava Lake?
Yeah, that sort of thing.
I can't laugh like Mario, but we all know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't laugh like Mario, but somebody mentions Toad's Melee.
Toad's Melee. Mushroom headbutt.
Just remembering
So
things.
I do not like the idea of Toad's Melee, and I do not want to elaborate on why.
Okay. Oh right, stuff stays collected. I don't need to go get it again. Oh. You, however.
That sucked. Was it a miss?
Okay, some stuff stays collected.
You're listening to America Overnight.
Or no, wait, that stays collected. I could just re-listen to it. That was the thing. Okay. So let's... Oh yeah.
Hey, killed two birds with one
kind of-
fire extinguisher.
I just kind of accidentally baffed her with that and she died.
Yeah, I wonder if you can like wiggle your mouse, like wave back and forth, smack and shoot. Oh no, he's a nice guy.
No, I want to bring it with me. It's good music, Bront.
Ah, fair. But you're stealing. He's gonna come back from his bathroom break.
What in the shit?
That radio did some fucking work. Oh, you can't telekinesis people yet.
Yeah, you gotta wait till you're in the Citadel for that.
What game is that?
Half-Life 2.
Ah,
The dark energy reactor fucks with your gravity gun and you gain the power to pick up meat.
should have had it the whole time. My only exposure to that game was everyone is G-Man or everything is G-Man.
Yeah, everything is G-Man was fun, but not as everything was G-Man in hilarious ways as I'd hoped.
The flying G-Mans were the highlight for me.
Yeah, nothing like the G invasion mod that was for Half-Life 1. Oh my god, it survived. Not only did it pack a wall up, but it survived.
I mean, I believe the trope is called, like, Almighty Janitor. But you would have an almighty radio.
Alright, where am I going next? This place was just here. Huh. It's a weird fucking room. Don't like it. These are like the inversions of cubicles.
Oh.
Menger cubicles.
I got the impression of like a server room without servers, with workstations instead, but...
Yeah, they're linked into something. Maybe these constructions are further protection somehow. There's a door over here. No, there's not.
They do really look like anti-cubicles, though.
Jesus Christ, the radio is the most powerful prop in the game.
It didn't despawn. Not yet.
Okay, so this is not where I'm meant to be yet. There's a sequence down a level that takes me toward here. Oh, now it despawned.
Rip.
But this is still locked.
Is that in the internet room yet?
How do you know it's the internet room?
There's a lot of computers in it.
I don't think so.
I think that's where I was with the 9 things.
Go in that room. Yeah, up there. Up there.
I didn't see anything to...
This?
Yeah, this is the internet room.
Okay.
Oh.
Not that this matters. I was just like, have you been to the internet room yet? And the answer is yes. Okay.
Oh, yes, I have. But it didn't...
There were people to kill.
Yeah, there were people to kill. I killed them. There is a door, but it's, like, sealed.
Yeah, it's not even locked. It's no longer a door.
No, Math, it's not a LAN party unless someone's duct taped to the ceiling.
What?
Hmm.
I'm just kind of assuming you've seen that picture. But I guess not.
You know what? That actually sounds familiar.
Oh, have you tried that door down there?
Like a cocoon almost, right?
I think that door down there had a white dot on it. That one. See, clearance level 01 that you just got from the guards?
Right. Okay. I opened the wrong clearance 01. Oh, you got a special camera angle.
Over.
The mini boss health bar.
It dodged?
It appears to have dodged, yes.
Was this the dude who she made a point to not have the blocker?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what we are?
He kind of made a point of not wearing an HRA last I saw him.
Well,
That's what Emily
it's
said.
not working out well for him.
Ow!
Okay.
I'm about to warn you. Hey, remember how those things explode?
Yeah, well,
I
was attempting to crouch to get cover, but it didn't happen.
He's a lot better at dodging than you.
Damn
It's
it.
a little unbalanced.
Okay, well, fine. At least we saved there, and all of the collectibles remain collectible.
Yeah, it's actually really no walk back at all.
Yeah, you are having a bad time.
They can fly.
Maybe try throwing a small thing at him to distract him and make him waste his dodge, then throw the big guns at him.
Yeah, might have cooldown.
Yeah, his dodge might have a cooldown. So you like throw like a little shit at him, then throw a big boy at him. He dodges that, then throw something else. We're just shooting a lot of hours too. Also, I don't know if he can dodge bullets.
Yeah, it's sort of a parry this moment.
Parry this, you filthy casual.
Just hiding while you got your juice back.
Looking like sharp pieces of scrap metal? That's kind of what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
And this way he seems like to drop his attacks if he dodges. You see what I mean?
Pardon me, have to deal with the ads.
A lot of help on the floor.
Oh.
Where is he?
In some cases, it could be faster to punch.
That guy just got fucking obliterated because he picked up the biggest thing in the room to throw at him.
Oh, that's some yummy fucking blue juice, though.
Where's the dude? There's the dude.
You actually hit him with that, didn't you?
Oh boy.
Sheesh. Christ almighty.
Pick up the thing and throw it at him! I'm not yelling at you, I'm yelling at Control.
Jesse Fate.
I'm trying to be funny.
It would be an odd thing to yell at once.
I acknowledge that you are trying to be funny. I am in a chat with Oz and Dewey and in a combat situation and can barely hear you because you're over there.
Oops.
Well, you have the office water cooler in hand.
Which I would argue is the embodiment of a water cooler.
Oh, what the hell?
Like a forbidden ketchup container.
Alright, one more loop.
Well, there's definitely like I think some sort of rules to when the dude can dodge and when he can't.
Yes. Oh no, it didn't take a massive jump in difficulty. I'm just bad.
I feel like it. I mean, a dude flying around throwing shit at you is a little bit of a jump in difficulty.
Perhaps.
It's the regular dudes showing up to interrupt that are actually kind of ruining it. Nice try. That would have been really cool.
They can fly.
Notice how the game gives you indicator arrows towards any enemies that are preparing the throwing attacks at you.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Alright. Okay. Yeah, I've kind of figured out that if he's holding things, he can't dodge. There's a lot of things in this room, and I can't tell when he's holding things.
He is holding things and preparing a ranged attack on you when you see the white indicator with the little arrow in the center of the screen, pointing you towards his current position.
I thought that was when I was preparing to hit him.
No, I'll tell you when it happens the next time. When he summons his metal things, if he is currently off screen, there will be a white arrow
They can
pointing
fly
to him.
now. Great.
Fly now. Yeah, this dude's on whatever juice you're on.
Uh-huh. Yes, he is.
Is one with the disc. Slash nuke. See, like, to me, I feel like he shouldn't have dodged. He had stuff.
Well, he had to dodge, and then he had to resummon his stuff. Well, that hurt him.
That's satisfying.
Health bits! Health bits!
Don't forget punching.
I was going after the health bits.
Ah.
Well, this loading screen is taking a while. What the fuck?
Yeah, they're pretty mesmerizing loading screens at the very least, so, you know.
At least they're neat, yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell you, this game has the difficulty curve in Castlevania Symphony of the Night, in the sense that the beginning part of it can actually be like total like balls, and then once you actually get some abilities and power-ups, you're much better off.
Hmm.
You know, in Symphony of the Night, if you don't know how to play the game, the gargoyle and the fucking bird will just absolutely wreck you.
You hit the ceiling, I think?
They can fly now. Great.
Is that the white stuff that you were referring to on the HUD Oz? Those arrows, blinds?
Yes. Yes.
So, even though he has stuff around him, he doesn't have the arrow.
The arrow only appears when he is not directly rendered on screen. He is actively preparing
God damn it.
scrap metal attacks.
Thunk. That was a good thunk. As it impacted my skull and I died. Excellent sound design.
Yeah. You already
The game
mentioned
does have
that,
really good
Oz,
sound
right?
design.
Okay. I need to, like, win. Because it's time for the stream to end.
I mean, you could say next time this fucker again, but
We will see.
I think the most important thing you need to do is hold an... So you can't crouch while holding an object, right? So you can't be behind cover and holding something simultaneously.
They can fly now. Great.
So I think that you need to stay behind cover until you're ready to throw something at him. And he's done throwing shit at you, more importantly. That is, shoot him or throw shit at him, or both. And then go back to cover. Because you really, really don't want to take damage here, because until he spawns ads, you are at the mercy of when he decides to spawn ads for you to regenerate health. So you really, really, really gotta play it on the defensive. See, now he's out of rocks, so the arrow goes away. He has nothing else to throw to. In fact, notice each of his rocks individually has a separate arrow. There were 2 arrows there for a second.
Okay. Technically valid. Is that a ladder I can take if I knew it was there?
No.
No? Okay.
He's got ads on the ground floor. Get down there.
Great.
Eesh. He's got more ads. Left side.
Was some pretty good good stuff though.
Does he?
You can hear them shooting guns at you.
Yeah, but I can't see them all the time, so you know what? Ah.
That was a convenient placement, actually.
Nice headshot.
So it's not when he's gathering stuff, and it's not when he has stuff. It's when
When he's
like
preparing
he
to
has a
throw it,
wind-up.
I think.
Yeah, because when he grabs a bunch of chunks of scrap metal, he forms them into blades, and he throws the blades at you. When he is forming or throwing the blades, the arrows appear. It's indicating to you the telegraph of there is a range attack that is about to strike you.
Can you? Okay, you know what?
He's also just gonna wait. Like, he doesn't do it if you have something already picked up.
It's closer to the inner wall to avoid the splash damage from the back wall. Or it was artificial brilliance, but... You know, I'm still wondering, so you see how throwing only uses half your health? Or energy, sorry.
Yeah.
If you just throw something at him, and then you pick up something else and throw it at him, will he get hit with the second one after he dodged the first one?
I don't know. Let's try that out.
You're talking
Give him a
like,
toss and hit it again, hit it again.
I tried.
Oh, you ran out of...
I ran out of stuff.
Yeah, you gotta have full energy. There you go. Now try. Give him a yeet. Give him another yeet. Oh, a little bit too fast. You didn't get that lock on him. Maybe that works.
I think there's a good chance that will work.
Oh wow, that's a low dodge cooldown. Never mind. All right, you're gonna have to stick to the gun to killing this guy.
That's fine.
It feels kind of like, okay, so I don't want to be like that guy, but it feels like it's kind of bad game design to give you an upgrade and then give you a boss that is completely immune to that upgrade.
Not completely immune to this. Oh, yeah, he is.
It's isn't it? And I think the focus wasn't on what you can do with it. The focus was on how bad it is to get spanked by it.
Oh, here's how this will make you respect how powerful this ability is. It looks like you can also shoot his scrap metal. Notice how you only have one there?
There's mans again out there.
Looking so good.
They probably could have tuned his dodging a little less aggressively.
Yeah, the environment is extremely beautiful, especially as it's being destroyed. Like, it's a very, very good space here.
That's awesome. Well done.
Ow. Hey! Phase 2.
No, he's just done.
Into the pipe anus.
No, there is no phase 2. He's gone. Yep.
I was gonna call it the male sphincter, but
Male
Well,
sphincter
should we
is
pass
pretty
them out?
good.
Everybody has 2 sphincters.
Two things I want to mention to you. Miss Heathen comments that the gunshots are really loud and are obscuring the commentary. Which they are. And the second thing is that the environmental destruction in this game is beautiful.
Is it leaving pieces, like literal pits behind when you rip up the floor, or does the floor fix itself?
It literally rips holes out of the floor. Everything fixes itself if you walk far enough away and come back, but if you rip a hole out of the floor, there's a hole in the floor.
That was almost
All right, take this down.
a moment.
The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant authorities. The mysterious illness affecting the staff at the U.S. Embassy in Havana was caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a foreign power. Numerous personnel have damage to the inner ear, but most are expected to make a full recovery. Of course, the event also damaged the cellular walls, but you can't blame that on some stupid noise gun. Thank God no local doctors examined them first. Honestly, what are the odds an altered item would show up inside a U.S. embassy? Talk about good
Well,
luck. So much easier to... Hey, are you still recording this?
executive, research, containment, maintenance.
Oh, is it a map of the tubes?
I guess. But like
a
what's that
subway
one?
map. It's the boring sector. It's just a straight line.
It's the grotesquely oversized hyphen sector.
The hiss got him.
It's true.
All right.
The hotline can't be far now.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to remember what the point was of coming here.
We were getting to the hotline to get launch efficiency, you say?
You actually have a lot of these. Launcher to cost about 7%. That's not that good.
8%,
Is there a health
7%,
boost?
9%. Health boost of 19%.
19% more health. No.
I still think the energy bits enhancement is probably
I
a
should let
better
you
use
know
of my
that you
time.
can scrap those for money.
I still don't know what the money's good for, though, right? So, like...
Yeah.
Hotline Chambammy.
You may have noticed the hotline chamber is directly adjacent to the mail tubes that go to everywhere in the fucking facility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Oh, this is where the telephone was supposed to be, right? The red phone?
Yes.
You can hear it ringing right now.
I forgot that's what we were
I'm
looking
headed
for.
straight for it.
So much happened before that.
The Ocean View Motel and Casino. Dream Logic. The light switch cord.
Wait, what?
Door marked with a black pyramid.
Yeah, you might want to read everything in this room very carefully.
Law of 3 applies. Third time.
Have we been here before?
Gorgeous.
No. I've stayed at a lot of roadside motels across the country, on the road.
Door with the black
run,
pyramid, you said.
radar. This feels like all
Wait,
of them. Like
No. Door with the black pyramid,
something
law of 3
recognized
applies.
From a dream.
No.
3 pyramid doors.
Hello? Anyone here?
Is there a dialogue log thing? Because I was not listening to what he said.
To what Trent said?
Yeah, because I think it was
Ocean
instructions.
View Motel, the Ocean View Motel and Casino.
Yeah, and then he
Logic.
said something about a door with a black
The door,
pyramid,
a black pyramid.
which I tried and it didn't.
That was about all he said, was those 3 things. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything.
Okay, but this puts me back where he will tell me the things again, I assume.
Actually, I think that only happens once. This is a puzzle. So yeah, fatal psychic trauma. If you fuck with this, you're not the director. Good thing you're the director.
Yep.
Kind of
That takes
important
me
information.
here.
So You did a thing 3 times, so that's good.
I think we're gonna have to explore this next time, because again, the stream was supposed to end. The stream was supposed to end in the middle of that boss fight, but it didn't because I was in the middle of a boss fight.
Not a huge problem.
Return to the last checkpoint. God damn it. That's fine. Well, hell. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Thank you, Oz, for being here, as you were excited to be. Thank you, Dewey, also for being here. Always appreciate when you're able to visit.
Pressured you to
be here.
So I'm kind of feel like I was required to be here.
Is your avatar the person from
Protagonist of this game? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Jesse Fate, director of the Federal Bureau of Control. It's official artwork, by the way. You can get it as a Steam avatar by buying it for 1,000 Steam points.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Or using Control-C.
Sure. Let's do that, heathen. Let's prep to bother them. Okay. Why did I say that? When did I mean, I know exactly when I said it because there's a date on it, but why did I say it? All right, cool. We're going with that one. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. Tomorrow, session 10 of Super Metroid Subversion. The massive...
I'm shocked that's still not over, by the way.
Technically, it has been over twice, but this will be session 3 of enormous spoiler. And yeah, and then I'll presumably see you after that next week on Thursday, assuming nobody calls out very suddenly again. I'm not a big fan of that. I get it, but not a fan. All right. Thanks again, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.